Hi, well, my name is Levon White, and today I'll be presenting to you from Grand Canyon University for an assignment titled Explaining IDEA, which stands for Individuals with Disabilities in Education Act, and the IEP process. IEP stands for the Individualized Education Program. Today's date is September 9th, 2020. So, according to the Center for Parent Information and Resources, a cornerstone of IDEA, our nation's special education law, is that each eligible child with a disability is entitled to a free, appropriate public education. FAPE is the acronym. That emphasizes special education and related services designed to meet the child's unique needs and that prepares the child for further education, employment, and independent living. Under the Individuals with Disability Education Act, IDEA, all students who receive special education should be kept in the same general classroom as other students as much as possible. Being in the general education classroom helps with the child's social emotional well-being. Furthermore, being around their average and high performing peers can prove beneficial for the said child's academics as well. If a student is suspected of having an intellectual or learning or developmental disability, then the teacher, faculty, or parent will submit a special education referral form to the school district. If the parent or guardian of the child is not the one who submits the form, then they must be contacted prior to any action being taken. The disability assessment is used to determine where a student may fall under the 13 intellectual and developmental disability categories listed in the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. This information is used by the IEP team to determine what specialized measures should be introduced to the struggling student's learning environment to help ensure their success. So, according to the Washington Office of Superintendent of Public Instruction, the three eligibility requirements a student must meet to receive special education are as followed. The student must have a disability or disabilities. The student's disability or disabilities must adversely affect their educational performance. And lastly, the student's unique needs cannot be is not addressed through education and general education classes alone, with or without individual accommodations, and requires specially designed instruction. Once a student is identified as having a learning disability, they are assigned an IEP team. This team will help plan out and implement new strategies and introduce new tools to the learning environment of the student identified as having a learning disability to help ensure their educational progress. Each team member plays a vital role in the student's IEP. The IEP team consists of the regular education teacher, the school system representative, that can be a principal or another faculty member, a transition services agency representative, the parents of the said child, others with knowledge or special expertise about the child, a person who can interpret evaluation results, and a special education teacher. Also, the student with the learning disability whenever it is appropriate to bring them into a team meeting. Quarterly progress monitoring is used to make sure that the student is making sufficient progress in their set learning goals for the year. If at the end of the quarter it is noticed that there is not much progress being made by the student's IEP Then the IEP team will then come together in order to discuss what went wrong and what can be changed so that the student can make adequate progress. The annual review is conducted by the IEP team at the end of the school year in order to see if the child has made sufficient progress in reaching their annual goal in which the team set at the beginning of the year. According to the Washington Office of Superintendent and Resources, school districts must provide parents a copy of a notice of special education procedural safeguards. All changes to a student's educational plan must first be communicated to the parent or guardian in the form of a written notice. Parents must also give their consent to a change in the child's education plan. Related services are also made available to students with disabilities. This is a reference to any additional resources that a child with a disability may require for them to be successful in any of their designated learning goals. Such services can include physical therapy, speech therapy, or any form of counseling. Well, that's the end of my presentation, and I hope that it was helpful. Bye.